Welcome to Writing on Caffeine, the podcast where you can come along on a journey with a father and daughter as we attempt to write our first novels. I am Jonathan Franzone, and this is my daughter.
Hello, I'm Reagan, also Franzone.
And as you can probably hear from the background noise, we are meeting in a coffee shop. This is Coffee Break Cafe. And so there's a little bit of noise in the background. Hopefully that won't be distracting. And since we are meeting at a coffee shop, I figured we could introduce what we're drinking. So what are you drinking?
Today I'm drinking a Winter Wonderland. It's my typical go-to drink. It's a white chocolate peppermint mocha with no whipped cream because it makes weird melty stuff on the top.
Now, Reagan, isn't that a Christmas drink?
It is. I've already started listening to Christmas music.
Awesome. And I'm just drinking a regular light roast with coffee or with sugar and cream. Today we are going to talk about why we are writing a novel, or why we want to write a novel. So I will let you go first. Why, Reagan, do you want to write a novel, and what got you interested in writing a novel?
I feel like I was one of those kids who kind of always was trying to write books, like staple like sheets of blank paper together and write stories on them for fun, and they were obviously terrible. But later in life, as a homeschool kid, some of my English assignments were creative writing, and I really enjoyed those a lot. I had a lot of fun coming up with characters and stories to tell. And now, as an adult, I find that there are a lack of young fantasy stories that are appropriate for young adults or, teenagers who want to find something fantasy, something fun to read that's appropriate. Also, I just want to prove it to myself that I'm capable of actually sitting down and writing a book.
Right. So you're writing in the young adult genre.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, like you said, a lot of the young adult books are just very steamy and romance filled.
Trying to not do that.
Right. For me personally, the first time I ever tried to write a book, I was actually in middle school, visiting my grandparents in California. And I love to read, fantasy specifically, and so I just got this wild idea that I would try to write a book. And so I just started writing it down on notebook paper by hand, and it was the worst thing ever. I think I probably wrote 10 or 12 pages, and that was it. And I don't even know if I still have that paper. Probably not. But fast forward to about 2015, I think, I was reading a lot of Brandon Sanderson, who is an awesome writer. And I started doing some research into his background because I just wanted to know more about him because his writing was amazing and his books are amazing. So I started reading about him and looking for videos, and I found that he teaches a class at BYU that is a creative writing class specifically for science fiction and fantasy.
Yeah.
And he got one of his students to record on this one year. He got one of his students to record the lectures and post them on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is amazing. And so I just started watching him mainly to know what his process was.
Right.
How do you come up with these amazing ideas? Because I wanted to know that. And then by the end of the course, it was like auditing a course. By the end of it, I had the idea, I think I can do this.
Yeah.
He makes it seem so just logical and easy. You just follow these steps, you do this,
right,
and you end up with a book. And so from that moment on, I started planning and thinking that I could write a book. I started reading a lot more on writing books and just have never gotten around to it. Like you, I just want to prove to myself that I can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be any good, but I think it's well worth the try.
Yeah. I'm not super interested in becoming famous or anything from writing. I just kind of want to prove to myself that I can write a book. And if other people enjoy it, then that makes me happy.
Right. That's one of the things I've read is you should write for you. Because if you're just writing to make money, then there's a good chance that you're going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's you and I and our ideas to write a novel. So what book are you currently reading as we wrap up?
Oh, that's a good question. I am reading several books right now. I am, speaking of Brandon Sanderson, reading The Alloy of Law by Brandon Sanderson.
Awesome book.
It's a westerny steampunk fantasy novel that I'm not super into, but I'm going to finish it. And I'm also reading The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis.
Also a very good book.
Yeah, I've listened to them all before, because you read them to us when we were kids, but I wanted to read them for myself as an adult.
Yeah. So I'm reading many things as well, most of it nonfiction, but the fiction book that I'm currently reading is Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. It's supposed to be a political thriller, and the first quarter of the book is not thrilling at all. It's a lot of staring at wallpaper and thinking about history, and
ooh, so exciting.
It is finally getting into some interesting stuff, but yeah, that's what I'm reading. I'm hoping I can finish it by the end of the year and move on to something a little bit more actually exciting. Thank you for joining us in this inaugural episode of Writing on Caffeine. We hope you'll join us again in 2 weeks. Please visit the website writingoncaffeine.com where you can view the show notes and subscribe so that you